Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! It all started on a warm summer afternoon. My wife Sarah was 8 months pregnant, and I could tell that the time was approaching. We had been preparing for this moment for a long time, reading books, attending parental classes, and setting up the nursery. But nothing could fully prepare us for the roller coaster ride of emotions that came with that one day. Sarah had been experiencing contractions all morning, and by mid-afternoon, they were getting closer together. She calmly told me, "Honey, it's time. We need to go to the hospital." I felt both excited and nervous at the same time. This was it, the day we'd been eagerly waiting for. Without wasting a moment, I rushed to grab our pre-packed bags and the car keys. I could feel my heart racing as I imagined holding our newborn in my arms. As I hurried out the front door, I saw Karen, our next-door neighbor, standing in front of my car, her arms folded and an annoyed expression on her face. Karen had been a source of frustration for months, constantly nitpicking about minor issues and generally making our lives difficult. Today of all days was the last time I wanted to deal with her antics. I approached her trying to keep my cool. "Karen, please move your car. My wife is in labor and we need to get to the hospital." But Karen let out an exasperated sigh. "I know, but I need to talk to you about this issue. It's been driving me crazy and I need it to be resolved." I could feel my patience fading. "Karen, it can wait. My wife is in labor. We need to go now. Please move your car." She remained stubborn, crossing her arms. "No, I'm not moving my car until we talk about this. It's important to me." I couldn't believe the audacity of the situation. My wife was in labor and Karen was making a stand over some trivial matter. I tried reasoning with her, explaining the urgency of our situation, but it was as if she had developed selective hearing. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, my father and brother, who were visiting, came running out of the house. They saw the commotion and quickly grasped the situation. My father, a calm and collected man, approached Karen with a soothing tone. "Ma'am, I understand you have an issue, but right now our priority is to get my son's wife to the hospital. Please, let us pass." My brother, on the other hand, had a shorter fuse. He pleaded with Karen. "Please, ma'am, we don't have time for this. Move your car." Karen remained steadfast, ignoring our pleas. She was now holding up a growing crowd of curious bystanders, which only added to my anxiety. My brother, seeing the urgency of the situation, took matters into his own hands. He dashed Karen's idling car and, without hesitation, moved it out of the way, freeing up the path for our departure. I was grateful for my brother's quick thinking, but I was also furious with Karen for her entitled attitude during such a critical moment. We rushed Sarah into the car and I drove like a madman to the hospital. Contractions were coming fast and strong and Sarah was gripping the seat. She was trying to breathe through the pain. I kept stealing glances at her, praying we'd make it to the hospital in time. As we finally arrived at the hospital, Sarah was rushed into the labor and delivery unit. The medical staff took over and I felt a profound sense of relief mixed with nervous anticipation. I couldn't believe that Karen's selfishness had threatened to delay our arrival at the hospital, potentially jeopardizing Sarah and the baby. Several hours later, our beautiful baby girl was born, healthy and perfect in every way. Sarah and I were overjoyed and our initial anger at Karen's actions was momentarily forgotten in the place of parenthood. However, the drama with Karen was far from over. As we settled into our new life as parents, we received a call from my brother. It turns out that after we left for the hospital, Karen had decided to take matters into her own hands yet again. She had called the police and accused my brother of attempting to steal her car. My heart sank as I listened to my brother's story. It seemed that Karen was hell-bent on causing trouble, even after the chaos she had created earlier. My brother was taken to the police station and we were left dealing with this new crisis just hours after the birth of our child. Fortunately, we had installed security cameras around our property a few months earlier. These cameras had captured the entire incident, from Karen blocking our car to my brother moving her vehicle out of the way. Armed with this evidence, we were confident that the truth would come to light. We quickly shared the footage with the police, who were shocked by Karen's behavior. They realized that she had not only put the life of a pregnant woman at risk, but had also made a false accusation against an innocent person. My brother was released without charges, and Karen was brought in for questioning. The security camera footage proved to be crucial in the situation. It was undeniable proof of Karen's unreasonable and dangerous behavior. The authorities decided to press charges against her for filing a false police report and obstructing a medical emergency. The legal proceedings that followed were stressful and time-consuming, but we were determined to see it through. We had a responsibility to our new family, and we couldn't let Karen's entitled behavior go unpunished. During the trial, Karen tried to play the victim, insisting that she had a right to confront us about the issue she had been complaining about. She even had the audacity to claim that she was unaware of Sarah's labor, despite the commotion and numerous witnesses. Thankfully, the security camera footage spoke louder than her words. In the end, Karen was found guilty of her charges. She was ordered to pay fines and restitution for the emotional distress she had caused. Additionally, she was placed on probation with strict orders to undergo anger management counseling. It was a small victory for us, but it meant that Karen would be held accountable for her actions. From that day on, we never saw Karen again. She moved away, likely seeking refuge from the embarrassment and legal consequences of her actions. We were just grateful that we had installed those security cameras, which not only saved my brother from false accusations, but also helped the authorities to hold Karen accountable for her entitled and reckless behavior. Our daughter, who we named Lily, grew up healthy and happy. She became a constant source of joy in our lives and a reminder that even in the face of adversity, love and family could overcome the most challenging circumstances. Before I went on to a career in radio and public speaking, I was a young 19-year-old student working his way through college. This was circa 1989, well before student loans were a major thing. To pay for classes and books, I had been working 3 different jobs: grocery store, men's clothing store, and restaurants, for about 2 years and enjoying them. While there have always been people with a customer's always right attitudes, there were not as many of those types as we have today. Still, every now and then, I would come across some young OG Karen and Kens, individuals who are now middle-aged and are the embodiment of the title. The movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott had just come out, and I adopted Swayze's character John Dalton attitude of be nice until it's time to not be nice. I adopted it in dealing with difficult customers. If it cost me one of my jobs, so be it. I had 2 others to fall back on, and all were willing to give me more hours if I asked. It was at the grocery store job where I met the OG Karen and Ken that put my fire me, I don't care attitude to the test. I was working the closing shift as a checker at HEP, my state's largest privately owned grocery store chain. If you're not familiar with HEP, it's an institution here in the state of Texas, kind of like Whataburger and Shiner Beer, and the store hours were 6 a.m. midnight. Between the hours of 11 p.m. and midnight, there was a skeleton crew on a front end, with 1 person at each station. On this night, I was the 1 checker, along with the 1 bagger, or courtesy clerks, as HEP called them, and the assistant service manager. We were not alone, as there were over 40 stockers and vendors who started restocking the shelves after 10 p.m. It had been a typical Saturday night with people coming in the last hour before we closed, either making beer runs or grabbing a few essentials. At 11:50 p.m., me, the CC, and the assistant manager were all at the end of 8-hour shifts and ready to go home. As I'm finishing checking out the customer, I hear the CC say, "Oh crap." I look up to see a young 20-something couple walking in the doors. He, our Ken, was pushing a buggy and she, our Karen, had a list in her hand. They were arguing about something, and by the way they walked, you could tell they were in no hurry. The CC says, "They are heading for the beer aisle, maybe just a quick beer run." The assistant manager says, They might not realize what time it is. Give them a warning. Because of my major and background, whenever I was checking the assistant managers, they would have me make store-wide announcement. I hit the intercom button and went into my professional radio voice. Attention shoppers, your friendly neighborhood, HEB will be closing in 10 minutes. Please make your final selections and make your way up front to check out before the clock strikes midnight. This will be important for later. As always, thank you for shopping at HEB and have a great evening. I checked out a few people making beer runs, ringing up one right at 11:59 p.m., but our couple with a buggy was not among them. After the last one exited my check stand, the assistant manager followed them out and locked the front door behind them. I sent a CC to do a store check to see who was left shopping, and I grabbed the intercom. Attention HEB shoppers, it is midnight and your neighborhood, HEB, is now closed. Please bring your basket to the front for a quick checkout. And as always, thank you for shopping at HEB and have a good night. The CC comes back and says, I walked the store. That couple was in the meat department arguing over chicken or steaks. They are the only ones left. And we continue to wait. 10 minutes go by and still no sign of Karen or Ken. I say, okay CC, go see where they are. He makes an island check and reports back. Well, now they are on the condiments aisle arguing over which barbecue sauce to get. Me grabbing the intercom again, having a little fun with the announcement since they were only employees and 2 customers in the store. Attention HEB shoppers, it is now approximately 12:15 a.m. and your friendly HEB store is closed. Please bring your buggy to the front for immediate checkout, and thank you for shopping at the HEB and have a good morning. The assistant manager and CC are about to lose it laughing at the Robin Williams-esque good morning, and still we waited. A few stalkers even came up to let us know there was still someone in the store, to which the 3 of us replied, yeah, we know, and we continued to wait. At 12:20 a.m. I realized that we were not seeing the couple. If they were going up and down the aisle as normal, we would see them come around one aisle by the cash registers and then head up the next. But it seemed they were purposely not coming by the front of the store, avoiding us. It is time for another announcement, but my patience is about gone. Attention HEB customer. The time is now 12:20 a.m. and this HEB store closed 20 minutes ago. Please bring what you have in your buggy up to the front for a quick and immediate checkout. Thank you for shopping at HEB. And we waited. I sent the CC on another recon mission to see where they were. He goes and stands at the end of one aisle for a couple of minutes, then heads back my way. Dude, they are just standing in a chip aisle talking. Just talking? What is it this time? Can't decide between Lay's or Ruffles? Fritos or Cheetos? He tells me no. Now they are arguing about his ex-girlfriend. The assistant manager rolls their eyes and gives me a "you've got to be kidding me" look. That was it. It was now 12:30 a.m. I was tired and hungry. I had somewhere to be the next morning and I was ready to go home. If they had been shopping with some sense of urgency, I might have had a little compassion, but no. They were just hanging out talking. It's time to not be nice. I picked up the intercom for my last announcement of the night. I started off normal, then went nuclear. Attention HEB customer. And by customer, I mean the couple on the chip aisle having a random conversation in front of the Cheetos. Yes, you too. This HEB store closed half an hour ago, and we are going home. You have 30 seconds to get to the register up front and check out. After that, we are locking you in with the stalkers, and you can shop all night and check out at 6 a.m. when the store reopens. A loud whoa and laughter erupts from the stalkers spread out around the store. I paused 10 seconds, but nothing. Me still over the intercom. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If I get to 0, you are spending the night here. 13, 12. Ken comes flying out of the chip aisle so fast that he takes the corner on 2 wheels, almost capsizing the buggy. Today, I would say he looked like a contestant on a guy's grocery game trying to be the first one to the check stand. Karen was jogging fast behind him with what today we call the classic Karen face. Ken reaches a check stand at the press and Karen looks aggravated. As they push their buggy up to the register, I go into sweet customer service mode like everything is normal and we have not been waiting half an hour to close. I say, "Y'all find everything okay?"
No, we are having a big party at noon tomorrow and there is still stuff we need. Why can't we finish shopping? We made it in before you closed.
Me, still being overly sweet. Well, that is not how it works. When we say we close at midnight, we close at midnight. Ken says,
You know, it's your job to wait till we are finished shopping.
well, after 40 minutes of shopping, all they had in the buggy were multiple packages of ribeye steaks, a bottle of barbecue sauce, a loaf of bread, 10 various bags of chips, and a good bit of alcohol. Only about 6 items were scratched off the extensive list Karen had in her hand. Me looking directly at Ken, going into Southern bless your heart sweet. Well, if you had actually been shopping instead of just standing around fighting about your ex, maybe I could have gotten everything on your list. They both gave me a stunned look. Ken started to snap back at me, but Karen cut me off and laid into him about his ex-girlfriend potentially showing up at their party was one of his friends. While they were focused on each other, I rang up their stuff and then got to the alcohol at the bottom of the buggy. A couple of cases of Budweiser, 6 bottles of Boone's Country Quencher, and countless packs of Bartles and James wine coolers. It was the 80s. Now here is where we got our revenge for keeping us there till almost 1 a.m. And the best part is that we did not do this. They did this to themselves. I start pulling all the adult beverages out of the buggy. Karen and Ken are still too busy arguing to notice I am not bringing up the alcohol but instead handing it to Cece, who is putting it into a separate buggy to take back and restock. Karen, still fighting with Ken, starts digging into her purse and says,
I just know you will want to check our ID.
Regular shoppers knew our policy. Anyone who looked to be under 35 got carded. I say no, that will not be necessary. Ken says. Ken looks in shock for a second.
Well, maybe someone can see how old we are.
As I hit the total button on their order, it dawns on Karen and Kim that the CC is walking off with the main thing they needed for their party.
Hey, where is he going with our drinks?
I tell him I did not need to see your IDs because I can't sell you or anyone else any alcohol.
What? What?
Karen shouts.
Bring that back now.
Me laying on a sweet Southern bless your heart customer service voice on real thick. I'm so sorry we can't. See, we did not start drinking up your order until 12:32 a.m. I showed them the timestamps on the receipt. And the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission regulations prevent us from selling any alcoholic beverages from 12 to 7 a.m. Ken says.
And? So what?
And, in simple terms, our liquor license prohibits us from selling alcoholic beverages after midnight.
But we made it in the doors before midnight.
It's not whether you make it into the store before midnight, it's whether you make it to the checkout before midnight. The TABC goes by the timestamp on a receipt, not by what time you walk through the doors. Ken, seeing his party is in jeopardy, he goes into schmooze mode.
Aw, come on, dude. Can't you hook us up this one time? What is it going to hurt? It's no big deal.
Me, dropping the whole sweet thing. Yeah, dude, that is a big no. TABC officers regularly check stores after midnight. You walk out with beer now and get stopped, this store loses its liquor license. I get arrested, fired, and the store garnishes my last check to pay their fine. Sorry, but your party ain't worth my job.
You're a jerk.
Dude, I don't know you. You have kept us here almost an hour after closing. You have been rude and you want me to risk getting arrested and losing my job to sell you alcohol for a party I'm not even invited to. And you're calling me a jerk? I pretty much started laughing in Ken's face.
We're going to call tomorrow and get you fired.
Karen says, or what? Saying no when you ask me to do something illegal? Please call and let them know that I'm doing my job. I'll let my manager know what your boyfriend called me when I would not break the law for you. Also, be sure to give them your name and contact information so we can pass that information on to the TABC as well. Ken says,
Forget it. I'll just come in first thing in the morning before the party and get the beer and the rest of the stuff we need.
Karen practically throws the money at me and I enjoy slowly counting back her change. As they head out, I yell after them, "Thank you for shopping at HEP and have a great rest of your evening." And Ken yells back,
F you!
The CC was coming back up front after restocking what for them was the most important part of their order, and Karen says to the CC,
Aren't you going to carry out our groceries?
that was part of their job in the 80s. He tells her, "Nope, not after we have already closed."
Y'all suck!
The assistant manager unlocks the door to let them out and wishes them a good evening and gets cussed at as well. As the CC cleans up and I'm counting down my tail with the assistant manager, something hits me, and I just start laughing. The assistant manager asks me, "What now?" Well, they said their party is at noon, and he will come back tomorrow morning to get the rest of what they needed and the beer. So, well, tomorrow… Wait, today's Sunday. Liquor stores are closed, and nobody, including us, can sell alcohol until afternoon. Our night was finally over, but Ken and Karen's party planning problems were just beginning. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.